sunny days. Not getting any of those lately. Hey there, welcome back to True North Reviews. My name is Ryan, and today we are doing Hot and Cold. This is a video series I like to do where I talk about the best and worst music over the past week, the hot being the best, the worst being the cold, and some middle-of-the-road tracks as well. As per usual, the songs will be linked down below in the description box. If you want to check out any of the songs, tell me your thoughts, listen to them, do what you will. As always, thanks to the people that gave some recommendations this week, and yes, we do that every week, so if you didn't get your song in this week, make sure you send it along, and I will talk about it next episode. First, diving into those shoutouts, we have a Sunny 2.0 song. It is called Hello Kitty, and going into this, I didn't really expect much, given that the person who recommended it said it sounds like a Playboy Cardi ripoff, and I'm not a fan of him. And shout out to Quick for recommending this song, but yikes, yeah, you don't want to waste your time listening to this song because, the instrumental is just so drab. It actually made me think more of like Lil Uzi Vert's Eternal Take. But yeah, by the end of this song, that baby voice, yeah, that is so irritating. Stay away from this song. It's not even a shock that Trippie Redd adds nothing to this track as well. You'll see later on in this video that I'll bring up Trippie Redd again with his own track. I just don't really want to spoil exactly where he ends up. And the other shout out this week is going to my friend Ben over at Legend BTV. The song he wanted me to check out this week is by an alternative rock group. They're called Rolling Blackouts Coastal Fever, and the song is entitled Falling Thunder. And if I'm being honest, I heard this song back when the album came out. It didn't really capture my attention right away. I really dig the chorus on this though, very bright, very radiant. It is fitting for the summer. However, the verses, that's where this song loses me. It's unfortunate that the entire song didn't jive with me, but the chorus is pretty entertaining. And now, moving on to the hot tracks from this past week, the best of the best. First up, we have Idols with their new single, Grounds. Idols, they're scheduled for a September release for their next album. New single, Grounds, is the second from this upcoming record. This is a British post-punk band. Typical lyrics from the group on this track about unifying and calling out the extremes of society. A bit more minimal when it comes to the instrumentation though. I really love the descending synth line and the disorienting guitar riffs on this track. Moving on from there, the Killers have a new single out this past week. It's called My Own Soul's Warning. This sounds like it's taken out of the Bruce Springsteen playbook, just that Born to Run era with the bells and the AO outro. Still an enjoyable and anthemic tune on this. I gotta say, I still prefer the first two singles over this. Even Fire and Bone grew on me a lot more, but this latest track is still admirable. Next up, we have Anderson .Paak. He's back this week with his song Lockdown, and lots of low-end bass on this. A bit more of the hip-hop style from Anderson, but still touches of jazzy and R&B instrumentation with a slick chorus. Another hot track goes to the artist H.E.R for her single I Can't Breathe, one of the more enjoyable singles from her lately. A savage yet accurate spoken word outro on this track, easily the best part about it. Now, switching gears into a bit of an older single that was previously released last year. It's Moral of the Story by Ashe, except now it's been remixed with Niall Horan. So yeah, a year-old single. It's getting some traction lately because of its inclusion in a new Netflix film. And with remixes, I'm typically hesitant when I go into them thinking like, okay, is this absolutely necessary? With this track, I actually never heard the original version of it, but this remix sounds like it's deserving of its remix. I don't know how I can say that without hearing the original. The reason why I say that is because Niall, either he had to have killed his vocal takes, or Ashe must have redone parts of hers just to match the inflections and the cadences. Regardless, a very soothing piano instrumental runs a thread through this track, and I think it's got a lot of vocal chemistry. Also, I can't forget to mention the lyrics about better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. They kind of flip that lyrical meaning on its head. Not as cliched as I would have expected from pop stars. Keeping the hot tracks going. Up next, we have Phoebe Bridgers and I Know the End. This song, it sounds like it's sealed in a vacuum. Not to say that it's lacking any sound or personality, it's just soothing and tranquil. There's also a bit of a longer composition to this song as well. I'm loving the minimal pulling on the strings, the eruption into brass horn passage as well. It was a little shocking at first to hear the unworldly and chaotic shrieks in the final leg of this track, but very climactic and just like a full circle coming of full circle song, if that makes any sense. Moving on, Noname with song 33. Given this track's brevity, a lot is jam-packed into its runtime. I'm going to ignore the social commentary in the context that this supposedly fires back at J. Cole. I will talk about his song later on in this video as well, but just ignoring the drama online, this song 33 is good as a song. The instrumental, the poetic vocal delivery, everything about it sounds really good. Just wish it could have been a bit longer. BTS have a new song out this past week as well. Really enjoying it. It's called Stay Gold. This is on the Journey version of Map of the Soul. The chorus on here, that's what really blew me away. Now it is a little cheesy, a little dramatic. The verses are kind of throwaway and it doesn't really mean much to me. I mean, Korean, the language doesn't make much sense to me anyways. This song, though, deserving of a hot track. Also deserving of a hot track is Beyoncé, and it's a bit of a hot take here to say that I'm not the biggest Beyoncé fan. Her new single, though, Black Parade, is something special, though. It's got that perfect blend of R&B and trap. The normal sound for Beyoncé, but I don't know, something about this one's just drawing me in a bit more. Obviously, Black Parade is not like the phenomenon of what Childish Gambino's This Is America was, but there's still an urgency and a sweet melody on this tune that's cutting through. Too sweet to ignore. And lastly, for hot tracks this week, I gotta give it to Guerilla Toss. This is a new artist that I just checked out for the first time, and I gotta say, if you want to check out a new artist this week too, gotta recommend Guerilla Toss, their new song, Human Girl. Lots of glamour and shine on the keyboards on this track, reminiscent of the 80s, and then the bass, it's pretty funky. It might remind you of the disco era, but then midway through the song, just throw in regular time signatures, and then that gives it like an underground kind of niche indie rock market sound. Just a smorgasbord of influences. It comes off really eclectic and yeah, sounds good. What else sounded pretty good this past week, or at least okay, are the middle of the road tracks. These are worth the mention. Not something that I particularly enjoyed as much as the hot tracks, but you might enjoy them a bit more. First up, we have the song Boomin' by Teyana Taylor featuring Missy, Elliott, and Future. This is a seductive R&B track, but nothing truly memorable about it. Granted, there is one part of the instrumental that sounds pretty cool. It's like the percussion almost sounds like a spray paint can being shaken. That's the only part of the song that I do like, though, because yeah, one of the last things I want to hear when getting down to business in the bedroom is Future. Sorry, not sorry. Moving on from there, Neck Deep have a new song. It's called Fall. This is like Blink 182 and All Time Low coming together. Sounds pretty by the numbers. It has a tiresome hook, but to some people it sounds fresh. They never get tired of that sound. That's why it's here on the middle of the road. J. Cole is the last middle of the road track, though, I want to talk about. It's Snow on the Bluff. Lots of shade and hate being thrown at J. Cole online for this song. The stans are coming out of the woodwork at this point. He's always had a big fan base to defend him. Honestly, again, don't really want to dive into the drama and what the lyrics might mean, but the song as music itself, it's pretty average, as at least it goes for J. Cole. Again, he drives me insane when it comes to the same triplet flow that he's been using since KOD, or maybe even before that. But I gotta give credit, the outro on this song is pretty gorgeous. The singing isn't that bad, and yeah, take the good with the bad. Let's move on. And where we move on to is the cold tracks, the worst of the week. Just another two to talk about here. We have Amy Shark, her latest single, Everybody Rise. Just cliched lyrics on here. Run-of-the-mill beats, terrible vocal mixing on the hook. It started out as middle of the road, but a couple listens later, yeah, I couldn't stomach it anymore. And finally, this week we have Trippie Redd. He landed on the cold tracks for his own song this week. It's called Dreamer, and it just sounds like a Lil Peep leftover demo. For some reason, Trippie Redd wants to do emo rock now, and the instrumental, it started off with some momentum with the guitars, but if it weren't for Trippie Redd, this could have been a decent song. The vocals, they just ended up being really grating. I'd almost prefer to have Sunny 2.0 back on here. And there you have it. There's Hot and Cold for this week. Make sure you sound off down below in the comments. Let me know what you guys think of these songs. Agree or disagree. I'm here to engage with you guys. If you'd like to leave a like, subscribe if you're new in town. I'd appreciate that very much. As always, thanks for watching, and have a rockin' day.